It was almost midnight when Arin finally stopped walking. The city was still awake around him. Cars moved like slow rivers of light. Distant music floated from open windows. But inside, Arin felt alone, as if he were the only person who had no idea where he was going. All day he had heard the same words. Be realistic. People like you don't change their lives. You should be grateful for what you have. He worked in a small office, doing the same tasks every day. Every morning, he squeezed into the same crowded bus, sat at the same desk, answered the same emails, and watched the clock. He was not in danger. He was not hungry. But deep inside, a quiet voice whispered, "This cannot be everything." At home, people told him to be careful and stop dreaming so big. So he smiled, nodded, and folded his dreams into smaller and smaller shapes until they almost disappeared. Tonight, something inside him finally said, "Enough." He had walked out of the office after staying late again. But instead of going to the bus stop like he always did, he turned in the opposite direction and just kept walking. Now he stood on a small hill at the edge of the city. Below him, the streets glowed orange and white. Above him, the sky was dark and huge. For the first time all day, he could hear his own breath. Arin sat down on a low stone wall. I am scared, he thought. I am tired, but I am also tired of being scared. In his pocket was a folded piece of paper. The night before, when he could not sleep, he had written 3 simple sentences. I want to change my life. I do not want to wake up in 20 years with the same empty feeling. I will start with one honest decision. He took out the paper and read the lines again under the weak streetlight. The words were small, but they were true. He had hidden his truth for so long that even seeing it on paper felt strange. He thought about the old life he was walking away from. A life where he said yes when he meant no, where he laughed at jokes that hurt him, where he stayed quiet when his heart wanted to speak. A life where every day he pressed pause on his own dreams so that other people could feel comfortable. His chest felt tight. What if they are right? He wondered. What if I try and fail? What if I end up with nothing? Softer but stronger. What if they are wrong? What if they are wrong? What if I stay and lose myself? A cold wind moved across the hill. Arin stood up. He looked back at the office building where tomorrow his chair would be waiting. He realized something important. Walking away did not mean he hated everyone there. It did not mean he was ungrateful. It simply meant that the life that fit other people no longer fit him. Quietly, he took out his phone and opened a message to his boss. His fingers trembled, but he typed slowly in clear, simple words. I am thankful for the time here, but I have decided to take a different path. Tomorrow will be my last day. He read the message 3 times. His heart was beating so loud he could feel it in his throat. Then, before fear could grab his hand, he pressed send. Now another feeling entered that space. A small, real courage. he did not suddenly know exactly what to do next. He still had to look for new work, still had to explain his decision to his family. But for the first time, his outside action and his inside truth were walking in the same direction. As he walked back down the hill, the city did not look like a prison anymore. It looked like a map full of roads he had never tried. Cafes where he could study, libraries where he could learn, evening classes where he could finally work on the skills he had always told himself he was too late to start. He put the folded paper back in his pocket, but this time he added a fourth sentence in his mind. I am still afraid, but I am moving anyway. Maybe, one day, people would tell a simple story about this night, the night he walked away from his old life. Not because he was brave from the beginning, but because he was tired of letting fear choose every chapter. As he disappeared into the sleeping streets, the city stayed the same. But Arin knew the truth. He was not running away from his life. He was finally walking toward it.